Man, I honestly never thought we would be sitting here having this conversation today, but something is brewing inside the Novacare complex that has me absolutely losing sleep. Look, we all love this team, we bleed green. But when reports start coming out that there is serious friction behind the scenes regarding the very core of our offense, you have to stand up and pay attention. We are talking about the foundation of our future, potentially shifting right under our feet while we are still trying to figure out if this new system is even going to work. It feels like the air in Philadelphia just got a whole lot heavier. And what I am about to tell you might change how you see this season. Jalen Hurts is at the center of a storm that I am not sure anyone saw coming this quickly after that massive contract extension. The word on the street right now is that there is growing internal frustration within the Philadelphia Eagles organization about how Hurts is fitting into the new offensive scheme being implemented. We all know Jalen is a worker. He is the first one in and the last one out, but the whispers are getting louder that the front office isn't seeing the progress they expected in this specific system. It is one thing to have a bad game, but it is another thing entirely when the people upstairs start wondering if the quarterback and the playbook are fundamentally incompatible. You can feel the tension building because this isn't just about a couple of missed reads or a bad practice. It is about the long-term vision of Howie Roseman and whether he still believes Jalen is the guy to lead this franchise through the next 5 years. When you have a quarterback making that kind of money, you expect a certain level of synergy with the coaching staff. And right now, that synergy feels like it is at an all-time low. The pressure is mounting, and while we want to believe Jalen is the answer, the reports coming out of the building suggest that the decision-makers might already be looking for a fallback plan because they simply cannot afford to waste this roster's championship window. It is a terrifying thought for any Eagles fan who bought a number 1 jersey. But the reality is that the NFL is a business that waits for no one, and if the production doesn't match the paycheck in this new system, Howie is going to pull the trigger on a change faster than we can blink. But even with all that frustration surrounding Jalen, there is a specific name that just surfaced that should make every single one of you lean in closer, because this is where the strategy turns into a full-blown contingency plan that could reshape the entire NFC East for a decade. Ty Simpson is the name that is suddenly sending shockwaves through the Eagles' fan base and the entire league circle. If you haven't been keeping track of the 2026 draft class, start paying attention now because the Eagles are reportedly doing some very early, very serious homework on the Alabama quarterback. The idea of the Eagles targeting Simpson is a clear signal that the front office is preparing for a world where Jalen Hurts isn't the long-term solution. Ty Simpson has that high ceiling, dynamic playmaking ability that scouts drool over, and the fact that his name is being linked to Philly. This early tells you everything you need to know about the level of concern regarding the current state of the offense. It is a classic Howie Roseman move, isn't it? He is always thinking 3 steps ahead, looking for the next escape hatch if things go south. But here's the thing, bringing in a guy like Simpson doesn't just happen in a vacuum. It means the internal evaluation of Jalen has hit a point where they are actually willing to spend elite draft capital to start over. Imagine the locker room dynamic if the team knows the front office is already shopping for a replacement, while Jalen is trying to lead them to a deep playoff run. It creates this atmosphere of uncertainty that can either fuel a player or completely break a team's chemistry. We are talking about a potential transition that would reset the clock for the entire franchise. This isn't just a rumor about a backup, it is a rumor about a successor. If Ty Simpson is truly on the radar, it means the Eagles are looking for a specific type of quarterback that they feel Jalen might not be in this new offensive era. The implications are massive, and it makes every single snap Jalen takes this season feel like a trial for his career in Midnight Green. You have to wonder if the front office has already seen enough, or if this is just the ultimate motivational tactic to light a fire under our starter. Either way, the stakes have never been higher. Before we dive into what this means for the locker room, I need to know your thoughts. Is it too early to look at Ty Simpson, or is Howie just being smart? Drop a comment right now, hit that like button, and subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive into this developing Eagles drama. To understand why this is happening, you have to look at the context of the Eagles' recent philosophy. Howie Roseman has never been afraid to move on from a quarterback, even one he just paid. Remember Carson Wentz? The ink was barely dry on that deal before things soured and Jalen was drafted. History has a funny way of repeating itself in Philly. The impact of even considering Ty Simpson is felt throughout the entire building because it signals to the coaching staff that they have permission to be critical of the current performance. If the new offensive system isn't clicking, The blame is being pointed directly at the guy under center rather than the guys drawing the plays. This creates a high-pressure environment where Jalen Hurts has to be nearly perfect just to keep the vultures away. For the future of the Philadelphia Eagles, this means we are in a win-now-or-change-everything mode. We aren't just looking at a season. We are looking at a referendum on the Jalen Hurts era. If he can't master this new scheme and prove the doubters wrong, the 2026 draft becomes the most important date on the calendar. The fans are divided, the media is circling, and the players are caught in the middle. If Jalen wins, all of this goes away, but if he struggles, the calls for Ty Simpson or any other replacement are going to become deafening. We are watching a high-stakes poker game where the Eagles front office is holding all the cards, and they are not afraid to fold a winning hand if they think they can get a better one. The next few months are going to be a roller coaster of emotions because every turnover and every touchdown will be analyzed through the lens of this potential replacement. I am honestly torn because I want Jalen to succeed, but I also want what is best for the team's long-term health. The reality is that the NFL is brutal, and loyalty only goes as far as the win column allows. At the end of the day, this news isn't just about a draft pick or a single player. It is about the soul of the Philadelphia Eagles and the standard of excellence this city demands. We are at a crossroads where the past success of Jalen Hurts is clashing with the cold, hard reality of a changing offensive landscape. It means that no one, regardless of their contract or their history, is truly safe if they aren't evolving. This is the moment where we find out what this team is really made of. Will Jalen rise to the challenge and shut down the Ty Simpson rumors once and for all? Or are we witnessing the beginning of the end for QB1 in Philly? The significance of this moment cannot be overstated because it will define the next decade of Eagles football. I want to hear from the real fans now. If Jalen doesn't look elite in this new system by the end of the year, are you ready to move on to a kid like Ty Simpson in 2026? Be honest in the comments because we need a real conversation about this. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications because this situation is moving fast and I will be here to cover every single update. The road ahead for the Eagles is uncertain, and the tension in Philadelphia is at a breaking point. Only one thing is for sure. The QB room will never look the same after this. Go Birds, and let's hope we find the right path before it's too late.